Hey guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. I was debating whether to do this video or not because it's more or less like a TBR for October, and as some of you may know, throughout this year I've been a mood reader. Apart from August, which was my subscriber month thing, which I had to have a TBR. But I have got a small pile of books that I put aside, that I was organizing in my room, and I put aside for the Halloween period, you know, for possible reading, stuff. So in this video I'm just going to say what I'm going to be doing throughout October, what I'm going to be potentially reading, what I'm going to be potentially watching, and what my general plans are. So first off, like last year, I'm only going to be filming all my videos throughout all of October, no matter what they are, in graveyards. I got this idea last year from Kayla Lenzen, so like last year, I'm going to give her credit this year because she mentioned it in one of her videos as a possible, cool idea. So I just want to give her credit for giving me this idea. So as always, my general rules about filming in graveyards is that I'm going to be super respectful to any staff or any visitors or any gardeners, everyone I come into contact with. I'm going to be super respectful, and if I'm getting in the way of anything, any funeral services, or if someone wants me to move on or move to a different location within the cemetery, then I will do so. I'm not going to interact with any of the graves or anything like that. I might go up to them and have a walk around and read the names and all that stuff, but I'm going to be super respectful of the so-called residents within the cemetery. So if you're inspired to do what I'm doing, please remember to be super respectful. I'm not doing this in graveyards to be funny. As I said, I'm not doing this for a laugh. I am just filming in cemeteries in October because it's the Halloween period and I thought it would be the most appropriate and interesting venue. So once again, if you're inspired to do what I am doing, please feel free, but please remember to be super respectful of both the living and the dead when you come to these areas. It's a place of mourning and people to grieve. So please be respectful about that. Also, throughout October, I am going to be having a special Halloween intro, which you saw at the beginning of this video. I recorded that in Highgate Cemetery. I've got a whole video on it where it's kind of a behind the scenes kind of walkthrough of that graveyard. I will have it up here somewhere, so please feel free. I will have it linked down below, so in case you want to check it out. But I will only have that intro throughout October only. That's only for October only, guys. So that is where I'm going to be filming, and a little bit about my intro, which I filmed by myself and edited by myself. So I think it turned out really well. I mean, I'll let you guys always be the judge on how it actually looks. So what I am going to be doing throughout October, well, I'm obviously going to still be working throughout this month. That isn't going to change, but let's just talk about what I'm going to be watching and lastly what I'm going to be reading. First off, let's start with what I'm going to be watching, as it's probably going to not take as much time. I am partially through watching the Netflix series called Dahmer, based on the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, and I'm really finding it creepy as hell. It's really good, it's really disturbing, and I will be continuing watching that throughout October. When it comes to what movies I'm going to be watching, I think I'm probably be watching stuff on Netflix and stuff that I've got on Blu-ray in my room. Nothing really pops up. It's just about whatever I want to watch at the time, I suppose. But most of the scary stuff I'll be watching is either on Blu-ray that I currently have in my room, or on Netflix under the Halloween sub category. I mean, please let me know down below, what you're potentially going to be watching, whether it's a series or a movie. comment down below, let me know what things you'll be watching for October, and maybe you'll inspire me. So what I'm reading throughout this month, I'm currently reading 3 books right now. One is Dracula by obviously Bram Stoker. I'm doing this as a buddy read with Marissa Bailey, as we both want to read it. She hasn't read it before, I have partially read it, and we are reading 2 chapters each day. And yeah, I haven't got that far in yet. I've only got up to chapter 3, and our main character Jonathan has just met Dracula, so see how it goes. I'm also reading In the Miso Soup, which is set in Tokyo, and it is based around this American that goes to Tokyo, and his guides, which specifically goes around the kind of sex area of Tokyo, all the back streets and all the sex clubs, whether it's innocent or whether it's real hardcore stuff. There has been talk about a girl or girls being found murdered and decapitated, and it is been nudged at, or the main character suspects this American to have actually done it. But it's a really short book, and I'm planning to finish it in the next few days or so. And I am currently reading, or am about to start, Stein Tinglers by R.L. Stein. This is his most recent short story collection. I've only read the intro, which is only about 2 pages long, and hopefully I will be reading at least maybe the first 1 or 2 stories of it today. See how it goes. I've got a busy day ahead of me today, and I even finished a book during this time as well, which I got a couple of days ago, and it went really quickly. And that is this little gem. It's called The Little Book of Horrors, and at the bottom it says spooky wit and wisdom for Halloween and beyond. So this is a kind of a coffee table book. As you can see, it's about the size of my hand, so it's really small. It's a non-fiction book, and it has all these quotes in it from movies and writers, and it has all these facts in it about the Halloween periods and its history. And a lot of the facts are based in the UK and America. Yes, Canada is briefly mentioned and other countries are briefly mentioned, but this is mostly facts about America and the UK. So it was really good. I finished this in about 2, maybe 3 days, and I was using the ticket that I got from Highgate Cemetery. That's the date that I went, and I was using this as the bookmark for this, so it wasn't intentional. It was just the only thing I had on me at the time. I've made a list about all the books that I am potentially going to be reading. There are a few more that I have on my pile that I put aside that I might get to, but if I don't, it's no massive loss. What I want to focus on is reading a book by well-known horror authors I haven't got around to yet. Sorry. And one that I forgot to put on this list is Richard Lehman. Now, I have a book in my room by him. I can't remember exactly what the title is called. If I can find it online, I will put a picture up on the screen. But it's about a boy that survives, or witnesses Jack the Ripper doing his murdering thing. So that's one that I want to try to get round to. The ones that I've got on this list are, well, let's get to the ones that that aren't priority, but I want to try to get round to. Before I forget, there was one that Kathy K sent me. I can't remember the exact title. Camilla and the Vampire, I think it might be called. Kind of the possible inspiration to Dracula. I will find a picture and I'll put it up on the screen. this is a really short book, about 150 pages long, even if that. So this one I can easily read and quickly read it. So that's a high priority for me, as she specifically sent it to me. She sent it to me, she didn't have to, and it's one of her favourite books, and I said I would make it a high priority for this month. So looking forward to going through that one. The other two books that aren't really priority for me are Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. I got this in the in the hardback copy, which was signed, so I thought it looked really cool, and I would be interested to see what I think about it. Next is Return of the Howling. This is book 2 in the Howling series, or trilogy, or whatever, or however many books there are. I like the first one, can't wait to read the second one. So yeah, about werewolves. And these next ones are priority for me. These ones are from writers I want to read their work to see if I like them or not. The first one is The Children God Forgot by Graham Masterton. I have been wanting to read this one for a while, and Pax Panic did a video on it, and it sounded really cool, and I cannot wait to read this one. I can't remember anything about the story apart from, one character working in the sewers and there being a load of feces, so that's nice. I won't be eating while I'm actually reading that book, but yeah, it sounds really cool, and the cover is amazing. Apartment 16 by Adam Neville. He's probably most well known for his Ritual book. I think it's called The Ritual. Seen the movie, got the book on my Kindle, haven't read it, but I thought, I'll try this one. I know you probably have to start off, well, it's probably best to start off with A Ritual, but I've chosen Apartment 16, so haven't got a clue what it's about. Probably read the back of it and I forgot about what it's about, most likely. Midnight by Dean Koontz. If you're a horror fan, you don't really need a introduction about Dean Koontz. He has written numerous books. Not sure whether I would like his writing style or not, or his storytelling or not, as he tends to be more of a hit and miss type of writer, but we'll have to wait and see. And lastly, My Heart Is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is probably the one I'll be reading next after I've finished with Stein Tinglers, as I'm really excited to read or get into that author's work. If I like My Heart Is a Chainsaw, I will be definitely making the Good Indians book, the Good Indians, if I can talk today, a priority. And lastly, guys, I am going to be reading the new, very highly anticipated book for me for this year, Lurking in the Dark, which is a HorrorTube anthology. And if I can remember, if I can find a video that Regina's Haunted Library posted, where it has clips from all the authors, that are going to be in it. Well, not all of them, but most of them, talking about their stories and all that stuff. I will have it up here and I will have it linked down below. But I am super excited to read this book. I'm going to be getting it on Kindle so I can read it on the 15th of October on the day, and I will also be ordering a paperback version of it, as I want to have a physical copy of it as well. So I will be reading that, but I will be reviewing all of the stories in that separately, and I will be giving all of the authors mentions, if I can find their channels. Hopefully it mentions their channels in the book, but I'll do some research, and if I can find their channel I will have it mentioned, but I will be reviewing all the stories in that collection separately. So beyond excited. I am so excited to get that book and read it. So guys, that's it. That's my plans for Halloween. And yeah, I was debating whether to do this video or not. Hopefully it has been okay. Hopefully you guys have been entertained by it. But yeah, I wasn't sure whether to do this one or not. This isn't a TBR video. This is, I mean, this isn't my TBR. This is just my rough outline. I suppose if you want to, you know, really think about what's my TBR, it's that Richard Lehman book, and Graham Masterton, Adam Neville, Dean Koontz and Stephen Graham Jones. They are probably on my Halloween TBR, but it's not set in stone. If I read all of them, that's great. If I read like a few of them, that's brilliant. If I read more, that's even better. But we'll have to wait and see where the mood takes me. But yeah, better let you go, guys, as I've got to do another video after this. So I'll see you around, guys.